Good day, dear listeners. David Attenborough here. I've taken a moment today to express my sincere apologies for our previous video that took a bit of an impromptu detour. We may have strayed slightly from the script, causing a smidge of bewilderment. I assure you the intention was never to convey any genuine ambiguity. Rather, we got swept up in the magic of storytelling, much like a child lost in a fairy tale. As we embark on this green-filled day, I extend my warmest wishes for a festive and, dare I say, flatulent St. Patrick's Day. May your celebrations be as vibrant as the attire you don, and just as lively as our character, Miss Belle Pum. You might find yourself, like her, trying to fan away a rather unpleasant odour with a tissue. Let's pay attention to the captivating and somewhat odoriferous adventures of Miss Belle Pum. Now, before we delve into the vibrant world of Miss Belle Pum, let's take a moment to indulge in something a bit different. Today we're going to explore a unique recipe, but not of the culinary kind. No, this recipe is for a song, a ballad if you will. And not just any ballad, but the Ballad of the Green Delight. So how does one effectively sing about something as abstract as the Green Delight? Well, let's break it down. Firstly, you need a dash of humour. A song about the Green Delight should be as lively and as fun as the St. Patrick's Day itself. It should tickle your funny bone and make your heart dance a jig. Secondly, you need a pinch of nostalgia. The Green Delight is about embracing our roots and traditions, so a nod to the old times can add a beautiful layer of depth to your ballad. Thirdly, don't forget to add a generous helping of creativity. Use your imagination. Paint a vivid picture of the Green Delight through your words. And finally, the secret ingredient, passion. Sing from your heart, pour your soul into the ballad. Only then can you truly capture the essence of the Green Delight. And there you have it, dear listeners, a recipe for effectively singing about the Green Delight. Now let's get back to the story of Miss Belle Pum and her family. Before we meet the charming Miss Belle Pum and her delightful family, let's take a culinary detour. Here's a recipe that's green and delightful, just like our Green Delight ballad. The creamy spinach and herb tagliatelle. This dish is as easy to prepare as it is delicious. Start by cooking the tagliatelle in a large pot of boiling salted water. While your pasta cooks, heat olive oil in a pan and sauté minced garlic until fragrant. Add a generous handful of fresh spinach and herbs of your choice. Once wilted, pour in a cup of cream and let it simmer until it thickens. Drain your pasta, but remember to save some pasta water. Mix your pasta with the creamy sauce, adding pasta water if needed. Season with salt and pepper to taste, and voila! You have a dish that's perfect for St. Patrick's Day or any day you're in need of a little Green Delight. Now here's a chef's tip. For an added crunch, sprinkle your dish with toasted pine nuts or breadcrumbs. And there you have it, a delightful dish to enjoy on St. Patrick's Day or any day for that matter. Now let's get back to the vibrant world of Miss Belle Pum and her family. Let's talk about the leading lady of our tale, Miss Belle Pum. A character distinctly whimsical, just like a leprechaun's dance on this splendid St. Patrick's Day. Miss Belle Pum is known for her quirky ways, like her habit of wafting away a certain, how do we put it, unpleasant aroma. A fart, to be clear. However, let's not too hasty in our judgment. Everyone has their oddities, don't they? Now moving on to the rest of the Pum clan. Meet Howve, the sister of our star, Miss Belle Pum. Round as a beach ball and entirely made of candy floss, Howve is truly a spectacle. Her each bearing their own unique allure are Pole, Nuddles and Zoe. A male polar bear, the epitome of coolness. Nuddles, the youngest, is a female golden bear with a heart as radiant as her fur. Zoe, the middle child, has evidently taken after her mother. She too is round, flossy and made of candy floss, with short yellow hair tied in charming pigtails. But let's not forget every tale needs an antagonist. Enter Horse MgGorse, the arch-nemesis of Miss Belle Pum. Horse MgGorse, from our Jane Fitzcastelia and Friends perspective, is a villain, a goody two-shoes constantly portraying us as mischievous and outrageous. However, today, on St. Patrick's Day, our dear Miss Belle Pum turned the tables and had some folks literally turn green. Her mischief led to a man filling a baby paddling pool with vomit, with two innocent toddlers taking a dip in it. Unbelievably, the vomit then found its way into 2 St. Patrick's Day cakes. The pungent aroma alone triggered chain reaction, causing 10 passengers on the 220 bus to vomit out of the window. The final scene featured an unfortunate old lady, Healy McGeely, becoming a vomit-covered victim and, in a bizarre twist, losing her hearing due to a man's vomit-induced gag reflex. Now, let's delve deeper into the St. Patrick's Day events involving Ms. Belle Pum. But remember, dear viewers, we are all part of this human comedy as we chuckle at their antics. So let's cheer for Ms. Belle Pum, her family, horse MgGorse, and even the unfortunate Healy McGeely. They indeed add a splash of colour and a hearty dose of laughter to our world. St. Patrick's Day, a day of celebration, turned into a day of, well, you'll see. Now let me paint you a picture of a day when the rivers flowed green and the air was filled with laughter and cheer until our protagonist, Ms. Belle Pum, decided to add her own special touch. In an effort to join the festivities, Ms. Belle Pum let out a fart so powerful, so potent, that it could only be described as, well, let's just say it was not a pot of gold at the end of this rainbow. This fart was so potent that it sent a gentleman into a fit of retching, filling a baby paddling pool with his St. Patrick's Day breakfast. Two innocent toddlers, thinking they'd discovered a new type of pool, decided to take a dip, much to the horror of onlookers. But the chaos didn't end there. This pool of regurgitated joy was scooped up and, in a comedic twist of fate, used in the making of two St. Patrick's Day cakes destined for a local party. As the cakes travelled to their destination on the 220 bus, the smell was so overpowering that 10 passengers couldn't keep their breakfast down. Vomit flew out of the windows, showering unsuspecting pedestrians. One such pedestrian was the unfortunate old lady, Healy McGeely. The sight of Healy covered in vomit caused one man to heave directly into another man's ear, causing a sudden and irreversible loss of hearing. But the party wasn't over yet, not by a long shot. In the aftermath of this St. Patrick's Day disaster, the party was relocated to the home of Howve, Miss Belle Pum's sister. Unbeknownst to the guests, the evening was about to take a turn for the worse, as Miss Belle Pum was left in charge of the evening meals and dishes. But that, dear listeners, is a tale for another time. For now, let us raise a glass to the St. Patrick's Day that will forever be remembered as the incident. After the bus incident, the party was moved to Howve's place. And oh, what a party it was. Picture this. Miss Belle Pum, of all people, was put in charge of the evening meals and dishes, a decision that led to a culinary catastrophe of epic proportions. For starters, she managed to concoct a dish so vile that 6 people ended up with measles on their eyes. The main course? Well, it caused 70 people to vomit so violently they vowed never to eat again. The cacophony of retching and wailing could be heard for miles around. One poor soul even vomited into his own lungs, prompting an emergency. We wish him well on his unexpected journey. But the dessert, oh the dessert. Miss Belle Pum, in her infinite wisdom, decided to add vinegar to the milk in the green rice pudding. 23 people vomited, some in the most unimaginable ways. Just when you thought things couldn't get worse, in walked horse MgGorse. As the party started to gather momentum, the entrance of our adversary, horse MgGorse, was met with a communal gasp. But dear viewers, that was not the end of the evening's surprises. After an unfortunate incident on the bus, the party was relocated to Howve's home. The late evening report from Jane Fitzcastelia and Friends newsroom reveals a shocking tale. Ms. Belle Pum, who was entrusted with the night's meals and dishes, served a starter that resulted in 6 people developing measles on their eyes. A bizarre outcome of a dreadful mixture involving twice-boiled milk and toxic caterpillar droppings. The main course was even more disastrous, causing 70 people, including Healy McGeely, to regurgitate their food so violently that they declared they might never eat again. Among the cacophony of retching, one man choked on his own vomit, which necessitated an emergency evacuation. We sent him our best wishes for a quick recovery. And then the dessert was served. Miss Belle Pum, in a fit of fury, emitted a foul-smelling fart and accidentally used vinegar instead of fresh milk in the green rice pudding. This caused an outbreak of vomiting. 23 people lost their dinners. A man vomited directly into his wife's mouth. A bystander with a whistle had a vomiting fit, spraying the contents of his stomach everywhere. A woman was drenched in vomit when her sick child erupted without any warning. A gentleman vomited up the private part of a pregnant lady, covering her unborn child. Amidst the pandemonium, horse MgGorse ended up with chunks of vomit in his hair. And that, dear, wraps up our shocking report of the party at Howve's place. This is David Attenborough, signing off.